Blue Valentine was released last year, I believe. It was late in the year, December release. Michelle Williams was actually nominated for Best Actress. There was a little bit of controversy that Ryan Gosling wasn't nominated for Best Actor. But basically what it's about is they play a somewhat newlywed couple. They've been together about 5 or 6 years, named Dean and Cindy. And they're kind of reaching that point in their relationship where it's kind of sink or swim time. Like, they had kind of a rocky start, and they're going to kind of have a rocky follow through. Their dog just died, so they decided they're going to have grandma babysit the kid while they go and have a romantic night out at a seedy motel to sort of try and rekindle whatever it was that started their relationship. And while that's going on, the movie moves into flashback, and you get to see the moments of which their relationship began. It's sort of like a 500 Days of Summer sort of use of nonlinear storytelling, or a little bit like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, etc., so on and so forth.
A lot of jumping around.
Yeah. Well, it's that whole idea, and it works really well. It always works. Even an episode of Scrubs did this, where you're seeing the beginnings of the relationships while you're seeing the end of the relationship at the same time, and it creates this a very emotional sense of what's going on. It's just a very tragic way to show a relationship, and it always usually works. And I think it works really well here. Unlike 500 Days of Summer, there's not a lot of bells and whistles. There's not a lot of, funny camera moments. There's not a lot of humor, really. It's a pretty dead serious movie, and it completely relies on the performances by Gosling and Williams, and I think they do more than well enough to hold the movie on their shoulders. It's very, very well done, very, very well acted, especially. And I even, it doesn't get a lot of credit. I think it deserves for the camera work. The camera work is very disorienting, a very handheld, kind of gritty cinema verite, if you will. And he does a lot of things with the focus, where he changes the focus off and on and stuff like that. And I thought that was kind of interesting, as well as a pretty interesting soundtrack by Grizzly Bear. I give the movie an A+. I loved it a lot. I think it's a perfect film, but it is going to depress the crap out of you.
Definitely a depressing one. Not as big a fan of this movie as you were. I'm going to give it a C+.
Okay.
Oh, I was waiting for a spit take. Dang it.
What?
That's what I was hoping for. It has the fun, the back and forth that you were talking about, the non-linear beginning and love stories going on. But I think my biggest issue was, let's see what I have. It's a character piece. Mm-hmm. I mean, not much plot to it. Just very character-oriented of these two people. And they're both really boring characters. She's just kind of this woman who's giving up on her marriage, and he's just an alcoholic. And I have to admit, alcoholics are almost as tried as exorcism now. I'm sorry, but there are other things out there that people can suffer from besides exorcism and alcoholism. So I was actually pretty bored during this movie. I was trying to get into it, and there's a part where he gets his butt handed to him by an ex-boyfriend, and not even that. I was like, oh, what a dick move. But that's all. I'm not going, oh, dick move. I'm like, dick move. The funnest part is where they decide to go, where they just decide to go get drunk and sit in a seedy motel of the future, because it's one of those themed places.
Room, yeah.
And then that whole scene just makes me feel awkward. I think the movie is more awkward to me. It's because you're watching how, maybe you're talking about interesting, the juxtaposition is, art school comes back. But I'm sitting there with my wife and I were sitting there watching it, and we're just both like, I don't want to see this. And maybe, it's supposed to be depressing or something, and that's what makes it all cool. But, for the average person who's going to watch movies is going to be like, that's not my happy fairy tale moments.
I don't think this is supposed to be a happy fairy tale.
I know it's not supposed to be, but But that's what you expect. I don't know, from something like Blue Valentine. You're expecting, you know, a little bit more. I don't know. I think I was going into this for more of a humor, artsy kind of thing.
Yeah, definitely not.
And I got all disappointed, and I probably have now just been like written off. Maybe I went into it's my wrong mindset right now. So
maybe
why
I thought that the awkwardness of the performances was a strength of the movie, because you know it's an awkward situation to try and revitalize an already dead relationship. And I found the characters to be perfectly interesting. I don't think that all of that was on paper. I think a lot of that is through these performances. But I especially really like the Ryan Gosling character, because you understand why Michelle Williams is frustrated with him, but at the same time he plays it very sympathetically too. So
he's a good dad. That's